Hey everyone, Dennis K here with Belize Islands Real Estate. Just to have a few minutes between my between Zoom calls, and I thought I would shoot out this quick recording to all you guys because I know I throw around a lot of terminology and explanations of various properties and areas like Corozal, Placencia, Ambergris Key, Key Caulker, places like Sacred Beach, Punta Azul, Habaneros, Robles Point, and I know if you haven't been to Belize before, or if you haven't traveled it extensively, it can be difficult to sort of get an idea of where I'm talking about. And I know you guys can Google all this yourself, but I thought I'd just spend just a few minutes pulling up my Google Earth map and just kind of highlighting the different areas of the country, just so as you're watching some of my videos and I'm talking about different pros and cons and areas, you have an idea of at least of what I'm talking about. So I'm going to attempt to do a share screen here. Not sure if this will work. Okay, good. So you should see Google Earth on my screen. I'm just going to do a way out to zoom out just to get an overview of the country before I start to show you some specific areas. All right, we're getting there. Okay, let's go a little bit farther because I want to get US and Canada. All right, so one of the things that makes Belize popular, which is it's right here, one of the things that makes it popular is its proximity to the US and Canada. So for example, if you're still going to try to do some work in Belize, for example, you're working online or you have some sort of online job, you're required to punch the clock, you're in this general time zone here, right? So either Eastern or Central or Mountain, depending on the time of year. Of course, there's Pacific. And so you're in the general time zone of North America. And also you can get back and forth to the States fairly easy. So as we go and zoom in, so for those of you who haven't been to Belize before, you see Belize is a Central American country, which I have to laugh because I had this guy comment on a video that I posted regarding Key Caulker, you know, how to retire cheap or how to live cheap on an island in Belize. And his comment was, Belize, that's not an island. Are you doing some false advertising? So here we go. So here's a response to that guy who was just, I don't know, just plain ignorant and didn't want to jump on Google and find out that Belize is part of mainland Central America, but it also has over 200 keys or islands that also belong to it. So let's zoom in a little bit more. For those of you who have been to Cancun, Playa del Carmen, Cozumel, that's all up in this area. Okay, this tip of Mexico here, and then you would come down. So that's interesting. So one way to get to Belize is to fly into Cancun and then take a bus from Cancun down to the border of between Chetumal and Corozal. So you can do that. Or also Tropic Air has flights that go from Cancun to Belize. So that's another way to enter the country. But you see it's bordered by Guatemala, Honduras, and Mexico. So let's zoom in a little more here. All right. And what I'll do is I'll start at the bottom of the country. So you see where it says Mayan Mountains down there. So that's there's Mayans all over the country, but there's the Mopan and Quechua Mayan villages down there in the Toledo district. Punta Gorda is the last town of any major size. They actually have a little airstrip right here in Punta Gorda. So you can fly down there and it's a really, really pretty area. Very wild and out there, a lot of jungles. So good friends of mine own a little resort here and you can go down there and spend some time with them, birding and just exploring this beautiful part of the country. But you see how uninhabited it is, right? It's just raw native land. And then going a little bit farther north, you run into Placencia. So some of you are looking at the Placencia area. So Placencia sits on this peninsula that sort of that ends there at Placencia. Let me see if my, for some reason it's not coming into clear focus like it should. It should just pop right up into a nice clear, but it's not doing it. All right, well, let's keep going here. So there's Placencia. As you go a little bit farther north, you run into areas like Hopkins, City River, and whatnot. This is all in the Stand Creek district. All right, so you see the reef is quite a ways offshore. So like the snorkeling, diving, fishing, it can be quite a ways out from the mainland down here in this part of the country. Now, as we go further north, there's Dangriga. Okay, it's another large town. not too much takes place in Dangriga as far as tourism or expats or development or anything like that, but it is a larger town worth visiting, I think, especially if you're spending a lot of time in the country of Belize. And then, oh, there's Hattieville. So Steph and I lived 2.5 years in Hattieville. So let me just explain that. So when we first moved to the country, Steph and I were doing some volunteer work, some missionary type work. We lived in this little village here called Hattieville. 2.5 years there before we moved out to the island of Ambergris Key. All right, so here's Belize City. And then Ladyville is where the airport is. And that's over in this general area. There you go, right there. So most people that fly into Belize, in fact, the only way you can fly into Belize is when you land here at the international airport. The airport is called the Philip Goldson International Airport, but the airport code is BZE. So you fly in here, but then you immediately jump on a Tropic or Maya air flight to go to a different part of the country, usually. Like if you're going to Placencia, Key, Ambergris Key, you would jump on a flight right there at the international airport and then fly out to the different areas. So going a little bit farther north now, for example, if you did fly in and go to, let's say, Key, for example. So let's see how far that is. So Google Earth, we'll put a airport is there in Key, and there's the international. So it's 23 miles. All right, so that takes about, I don't know, probably 10, 12 minutes to get there. And if you were going to Ambergris Key, there's the airport in Ambergris Key from the international airport. Where did you go? There you are. It is 34 miles, right? So then it takes about 15, 16, 17 minutes to get to Ambergris Key. Before I go to Ambergris Key, I'll show you the Corozal district. That is the district right here that borders Mexico. So you can see Corozal town, and Chetumal is right there. So some of you who I had on the Zoom calls today, you're looking at properties in this general area. So one gentleman was looking at some properties here, some nice beachfront areas. You have this small little village of Sartaneja, Corozal town, and then you have Chetumal, which is a much larger Mexican town, and you can go back and forth quite easily. All right, so then from there, you come over to Ambergris Key, which is right here. Well, first of all, let me go to Key a little bit, because I just did a video on how you can live cheap for a year in Belize on this beautiful island of Key. So it's a long, narrow island. It sits right here. Okay, so it does have an airstrip on it. And the reef is just off its coast, just off to the east there. So it's a beautiful, beautiful island. You can see the turquoise water surrounding it. So if you saw that video, this is where Key is. And then just to the north of Key is Ambergris Key. I talk about how easy it is to go back and forth. So if you need to get your, for example, your residency permit stamped after every 30 days, the boat goes from San Pedro to Key. Right about there is where the dock is. So it's 13 miles. Takes at least 20, 25 minutes by boat, but it is a beautiful ride. So absolutely beautiful. So now let's take a look at Ambergris Key itself. So it's 25 miles long. So let's go tip to tip. And let's show you by the measuring stick here. So let's see, right here is the northern tip that separates it from between Belize and Mexico, and go down to the southern tip right here. Yeah, so 23.8 miles long. And if we're looking at the width of it at its widest, this is probably the widest point right here, it is 3.27 miles. All right, so, well, you know, widest might be a little bit more wider here at Rocky Point. Yeah, 4.5. But this is all part of the Chica National Park and Marine Reserve up there. So a lot of that's a really, really cool area to explore. So let's just sort of go through some of the areas on Ambergris Key so you can get to know when I'm talking about some of these areas where things are located. Now the green you see there, that is the plot map overlay showing all the different properties that have land certificate title. We'll start right down here at the end, so this southern tip. This is where La Serene Resort is being built. Big, beautiful new resort down there with incredible condos, very, very nice, very high-end, luxurious. You have this area down here called the South Ambergris Key Subdivision. That's all this area in here. It's very residential. In fact, I have 2 lots for sale that are second row lots that are in this area right here. They're right here, lots 213 and 216. So they're just one row back from the ocean, beautiful overlooking Ho Chan Marine Reserve, right close to Ho Chan Reef Resort. Beautiful, beautiful area. Don't know why this pin is sitting out there. It says Hilton. That's not where the Hilton is at all. Something's going on like Google Earth. So yeah, anyways, very, very nice residential subdivision all through here. If you look at this property here with all the canals on it, this property right here, this is where all the new hotel is, the Hilton Curio Collection Hotel. Beautiful development, beautiful opportunities in there for people looking for a gated community, something where there's underground utilities and there's architectural controls in place. They do incredible work in that subdivision, by the way, as far as having these really nice Belizean hardwood style homes that are decorated just amazing. In fact, if you go on YouTube and you look at either I think Will Mitchell posted some really good videos of homes there called the Jib House. There's some other houses that he has located in there that are just really, really nice. And if you email me, I'll email you some pictures. I have a Dropbox link to some really nice pictures of homes in there. Anyway, really, really nice. All these canals lead out to the west side of the island. So if you own one of these lots, you can have your boat right up to your front door, and then you can be out to the west side of the island within just a matter of minutes. So that's about 2.5 miles south of San Pedro town. As you go north, these are some local subdivisions in here called DFC, different name subdivisions up in here. You have the airstrip right here. So this is when you land right here in San Pedro town. So let's just go there for a minute. Okay, so you see the airstrip. This is the airstrip. Here's where you'll land at the San Pedro airport. And then you get into this little area here, which is actually downtown San Pedro. So San Pedro is only like, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, about 7 blocks, 8 blocks, say 9 total blocks long by about 4 blocks wide. So it's a very, very small, condensed area. A lot of traffic, very busy. Some people love it, because of its bustle. Some people don't. But if you're tired of the hustle and bustle, then don't spend a whole lot of time in San Pedro. I love it though. I think it's an exciting place. Just fantastic. And then once you start to leave San Pedro going north, now you get into some interesting areas. This area is here called the Tres Cocos area. Very nice area for super high-end homes. You're talking, $2, $3, $4 million homes right on the ocean. You also have some good deals off ocean. Some properties back here can be had fairly reasonable. As you go north, you run into some larger resorts like Grand Caribe. Let's see if this pulls up. Yep, that's Grand Caribe. So I don't know if you're seeing that, but you should be. That's a really, really nice place. As you go further north, you see Captain Morgan's. So Captain Morgan's is up there, about 3 miles north of San Pedro town. What else do you have? What's going to come up? Cocoa Beach. Cocoa Beach is absolutely stunning. It's a gorgeous property. You have Cocoa Beach. You have Belizean shores up in that area. And then you have Las Terrazas as well. So let's see where Las Terrazas is. Let's see if it's going to come up for us. Yep, there we go. So there's Las Terrazas Resort. Again, very, very nice. Then just past there, you're going to see the turnoff road right here to Secret Beach. So this is the east-west connection road that goes all the way over to Secret Beach, dead ends at Ambergris Bay. But if you continue going north on the road, you're going to run into some really nice resorts like Chica. One of my favorite resorts there is Chica because of the thatched roof cabanas. You go a little bit further north, you're going to run into other resorts such as La Perla del Caribe. Exton Ha is really nice. It sits on some of these most beautiful waters on the East Coast. That's all these waters right here. Just a gorgeous, gorgeous place. Let's see if the picture pulls up. Yep, that's Exton Ha. So great place to vacation, to stay if you're coming down to check out the island, the country. And then as you go a little bit further north, you'll run into some subdivisions such as Habaneros, which is right here. And then going further north, some of the Punta Azul subdivisions. And what's really cool is when you go all the way up towards the tip, you run into Robles Point and Rocky Point. So here's Robles Point, which is a stunning part of the island. Just gorgeous, raw, undeveloped. The reef actually touches the island at this point. And then you have Rocky Point, excuse me. Rocky Point, which is right here. And then you go up and around Rocky Point, and then you run into the natural cut that separates Belize from Mexico, and that's this little cut right here. So the rumor has it that, you know, a long time ago, 500, 1,000 years ago, the Mayans actually hand dug this little channel to separate Ambergris Key, what is now Ambergris Key, from the southern end of the Yucatan Peninsula. Now, why would they do that? Well, because when they came down from Mexico with their canoes and boats full of trade and food and different things, they would have to go around Rocky Point, which is very treacherous because they had to go out into open ocean, right, in order to come back inside the reef line. Whereas if they snuck back through this area, they could stay inside the reef all the way down to Honduras. So this is the only dangerous spot for them as they traveled back and forth. So rumor has it they cut this little canal, and that way they could sneak back in and they could be safe. And what's really cool is there's this little Mexican town called Chica right here, which is fun because you can do some snorkeling day tours up in this area of North Ambergris Key, and then your boat captain might take it to Chica, and that's a cool little, very, very small town. You can just hop in there for lunch, no passports needed, drink a few Corona beers, and then head back down to the island. So that's all along the East Coast here. When you get over to the West Coast, let me just show you a few things there. Come on now. Okay, so I talked about that east-west connection road. Let me just kind of start there and take you across. Okay, so this is that east-west connection road, takes you across, and you're gonna see as you go across, a lot of these roads have already been put in. For example, this area here is called Grand Belizean Estates. There are some lots available up in this area. They're excellent lots. They've already been filled, they're build ready. They're about 35,000 US, and there's financing available on those. There's also some other lots in here sold by individual lot owners that you can get for between 23 and 27,000 US with financing. This subdivision here is called Palmyra Woods. I have 2 lots in here for sale right now for 30,000 US with financing. And then once you get a little bit over to closer to Secret Beach, you have the Ambergris Bay subdivision. Okay, so in Secret Beach, all the main action as far as the beach bars, restaurants, cafes, that's all in this area. So you have the Blue Bayou down here, which is new. You have another bar that just opened up down here in this little section of land. You have the Secret Beach area with pirates and Arubas and whatnot. And then going north, you have this road, and you have some boutique hotels that just opened. For example, Kevin opened up the what's called Casanova Cabanas on this property, and some other clients of mine bought beachfront and second row in this area. Oh, I do have, just so you know, there's 2 lots right here, side-by-side lots, Ambergris Wood lot numbers 2 and 3 for sale. And what I like about these is these are reasonably priced at 40 grand each, and they are 0.31 miles away from the beach. They do come with seller financing, and there's 2 side-by-side lots, so it's not easy to find that on the island anywhere, especially in an area that's already been sold out as this area has been. Those are some pretty good deals right there. Then we have going north here. You come, this road is actually being, there's a road now that leads from Secret Beach up to this property here. And then going north, there are not any roads in this area yet, but there's a little area that's of interest, and that is this area here. So what we have along the west side is this little split that goes out into a big open area, and this is slated to become a potential future marina in here because it's the only place where boaters can come in, sneak in here, and then dock their boats. So there's a couple of really good deals in this area that we're taking a look at. First of all, you have these 2 large lots here, parcels number 8438 and 8437. Those are some pretty good deals right now because the seller is selling at a very reasonable price, and you can do a lot with these lots. They have water frontage on both sides. I think these are going to be really good for the right buyer. And we also have, where is it? This lot right here, I believe, 8478. So it's also for sale. It's a cash deal, and I got to check the pricing on that. But if you're interested in this, I think it's one of those really good deals. Now, as you go north of here, you see it's primarily undeveloped. There's not much in this area at all, but there are a couple of things that are of interest. For example, this here is the Sunset View subdivision, and one of my clients has this property right here for sale. It's a very large lot, high, dry, overlooks all these beautiful waters, and he is willing to offer some financing for the right deal on this. So again, it's parcel number 8724 Sunset View. If you think you'd be interested in this, let me know, and I can send you the size, the price, the financing terms, and whatnot on that. All right. So let's zoom out, and one other thing I wanted to show you, there was an island that I highlighted in one of my videos. Yep, there we go, private island for sale, right there. So that island was listed at $799,000, and it's pretty cool. Have your own island for 800 grand. And I actually gave some development ideas on what could be done if you bought that. Because again, I think it's important that if you're looking at an island, you also have a mainland component, right? So I think what I said on that is what's cool is if you bought that and then a beachfront lot at Secret Beach or near Secret Beach, for example, one of these lots from this area, you'd be about 8 miles from your island and to your beachfront property. And that way you could have a little rental or beachfront home with a golf cart, and then you could use that as sort of like your staging area to then go off to your private island. All right, so hopefully this was helpful, guys. Yeah, I just wanted to give you a nice little overview of Belize. Oh, wait, one more thing I did talk about is the Cayo area, the Cayo district with San Ignacio. Not too many of my clients are looking for property around there, but if they are, then what you do is you drive from Ladyville and you land along this highway here that goes to Belmopan, just south of Spanish Lookout. Here's where the Mennonite homes are often built. So if you're looking at some of those websites like, was it Casa Linda Homes? This is where a lot of those are built and then shipped out to the islands, and they're shipped all over the country actually. And then you have this town here called San Ignacio. This is the town close to the Guatemalan border. Pretty nice sized town. And like I said, not too many of my clients are looking to buy there, but it's absolutely a great place to vacation, to spend a week. You can go horseback riding and, you know, canoeing down the rivers and jungle trekking, and just a really, really, really cool place. All right. So hope this was helpful. Let me know if you have any questions, comments, concerns, any interest in any particular part of the country. And I can set up a Zoom call with you. Hit me up with the link below. We'll see if we can set something up the next few days, and we'll go from there. All right, take care, guys. Talk to you soon.